This is the 22nd season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. A little bit of an interesting week. We did kind of a week recap with Dave Rush from Best on Tour last night. Talked about a dominating performance by the Nut Brothers in the MLF Pro Circuit event, a blueback herring fest over on Lake Murray, a big win out on Havasu by Cody Steckel, who will be joining us tomorrow morning on BTL, and a very special show tonight. This guy, it's a multi-guest show tonight, mixed in with a big announcement. You know, I've been working a lot with Fishing Chaos over the past year. We did the Fishing Chaos for St. Jude fundraiser tournament, where 100% of the proceeds went to St. Jude. The BTL listeners raised over $4,200 for St. Jude through that tournament. Congratulations. We're going to have a show on there. Some really cool stories that came out of that about guys who caught 11 pounders from the bank that gave him an extra quarter inch to win. We had one of the guys who finished in first, who donated his $250 first prize back to St. Jude. But a little bit of a different show tonight. If you've been watching social media today, you'll see that a number of professional anglers / some influencers in the industry have posted things. And there's been a lot of, over the last 18 months, a lot of interesting twists on tournament fishing. Obviously, you have the BPT and the Bassmaster Elite Series at the top levels with the Opens and the Pro Circuits and Toyotas underneath that. But one-off tournaments kind of kicked off for last year with that Ultimate Angler Championship. Remember Tucker Smith, the $1 Million Man? Actually, it kicked off, I would say, with Johnny Morris's Bass Pro Shops US Open, where Tucker and Logan Parks won $1 million in all sorts of boats and trucks and things like that. But then last year, the Ultimate Angler Championship on Guntersville, that gave away $500,000, over $1 million in prizes. We had some ill-fated attempts at high stakes team series that kicked off earlier this year. We've seen what the WBE is doing, kind of bringing back a TTBC-esque tournament for the top 25 anglers on the BPT and the Elite Series later this year. And I think it all kind of goes along with the social media, with the access to anglers live on the water. You know, it wasn't that long ago. You remember, Bassmaster, when they first went live, it was 50-50 on whether you would even have a guy who was within service and whether they could get him, and it would be freezing. And I think we take for granted now that it is on Fox and there's segments in between it, and every time you go to a guy, it's HD quality and perfectly smooth. And we're seeing a lot of those little white discs and boxes on the back of the boats. I just had Kyle Patrick stay at the house last week, and he has 2 rod boxes that are dedicated just to tech, to live stream, and he's got a Starlink mounted on the cowling of his Yamaha that he had to call Yamaha and be like, hey, I'm gonna drill through the cowling here and put a Starlink on it so I can do all sorts of live stuff. And I think that's kind of the direction we're going. We have Fishing Chaos is a great app that has allowed anglers from across the country to compete with each other in tournaments that are 1 day a week, a month long. You can fish live against your buddies. You have all that. That's kind of what this is, and we're going to lead that up to a big announcement. We'll talk about it in the first segment, then we'll bring Tom Brubaker and a number of other professional anglers on in the second half of the show to really talk about this press release that just dropped today on Wired to Fish, called The Future, a new era of competitive fishing, with some big names in it. But I wanted to kick things off. I've been meaning to get this guy on for a number a number of years, and it's just one of those things that hasn't happened. So he's a part of this announcement that we're going to make tonight. And I said, can we do like a BTL in kind of the first half, and then we'll transition into it? And he was like, yeah, which when you get him like at home available for an hour, like I think probably 22 of his 24 hours of the day are scheduled, and then he sleeps for the other 2, and maybe edits video or tells people how to edit video for the other 2. But I've never seen the man like get a full night's rest. He's always working. But first time I know since I've taken over BTL, heck, it's almost been 5 years now. And that is the one and only Scott Martin from Clewiston, Florida, joins us. Scott, thanks for jumping on BTL. Long overdue.
I'm excited, Matt. Appreciate the invite, buddy. It's I've been watching your episodes. You've been doing a fantastic job, and you're a fantastic fisherman and a fantastic friend as well. So I appreciate you having me on. And it was just not too long ago we were holding up gold medals in Mexico, man. And
dude, that's like my one claim to fame right there. Look at that right there. I got it right there. Cool. I got the big bass. Andrew got the trophy that said first, and then the 2 gold medals. So that was definitely an experience of a lifetime. I will say this though. I am still actually, I paid $320 today for that trip to Mexico. If you remember, it was the Pan Am Sport Fishing Federation Bass Championships that was there. Right. And it was a year ago, because I just got my notification that my Mexico auto insurance is about to expire, which I will not be renewing. But
I know, I tell people we drove down there and they're like, what?
Yeah, no, it was sketchy. If you remember, I literally got my trailer hung up in customs.
Yes.
So what ended up happening was I tweaked my axle a little bit, and I'm burning through a tire every 30 hours now.
Yeah.
So Fred's tire right down the road here in Shawnee, I've gone through 6 trailer tires on that. I called Bass Cat and they said, hey, we build our own tires here. We'll get it fixed here when you have it. I got the new Cat that's coming, the 27 Lynx that's coming in a month. So, but no, I'm still going through a tire every 30 hours. I got it hung up when we went through customs, torqued. That was a nightmare. I rolled 3 tires through Mexico, but that was a hell of a trip.
But so worth it, right? I mean, and you talked earlier in your intro about how the last couple of years has been all these new style events, new style tournaments, and we've been doing the Team USA stuff now for about 6 years. And that's totally different as well. So when you look at where bass fishing is going now and where it used to be traditionally, 10, 15 years ago to where it is now, you have to throw that Team USA type stuff that we're doing into it, because we're competing on a big team level, and we're converting everything to kilos a lot of times from other countries, like we're in Italy, and it's just a whole different format. So bass fishing is evolving in so many different ways, and it's so cool to see how all this is going. And I'm just glad to be part of all these new things, man. It's been fun. And
the Black Bass World Championships are back in the United States this year too, correct?
They are. Yeah, we'll be doing that in October timeframe in Hot Springs, right there on Hamilton. So that's going to be a really big deal, and there's going to be a big expo involved as well. And so a lot of cool things. I'm not sure they've officially made the big announcement yet of who's all fishing yet, so I can't spill the beans, but we have some really, really great members of Team USA for this upcoming event.
Yeah, and is Kevin involved in that too now too? I know Kevin
Kevin is involved. He's been involved for a couple of years now, and he's our coach.
That's not a bad coach to have.
That's not a bad coach. I'm like, he calls me up, I go, what's up, coach?
Yeah. Like I said, big announcement later where we talk about this. Yeah. I kind of tease it now, but I wanted to get you on for a little bit of a kind of a BTL episode, because I would venture to say, I mean, you're probably one of the most well-known professional bass anglers over the past 20 years that are in the industry, but you've had like I don't know how to say it, a weird last year and a half, Scott. Is that how would you describe it? I mean, you've gone from running the tournament trail to kind of exploring all sorts of different things over the past year. If you were to summarize your last year, how would you do that?
It's interesting. It's an interesting way to put it, because part of me wants to say it's a blessing. And I almost say that's what I would say. Like that's It's been challenging. There was times last year, especially about this time, that was just unbelievably stressful with all the craziness going on at Bass. But when I look at where I'm at now and really, really what needed to happen, it's a blessing. It honestly is, because I've been doing this 25 years, man. I started fishing professionally in 2000. I won my first FLW tournament in 2000 and hit the road that year in 2000. And I have not missed a single year or a single tournament in 25 years. I've missed birthday parties, graduations, great trips with the family, football games, every imaginable thing, with 4 kids and a wife and a good group of friends that you can miss. I've missed, and I've never missed a tournament. You couldn't. And so I look at where I'm at now, where I'm still fishing tournaments, but I'm not fishing a big tour. I'm not fishing a big hardcore schedule. And it's like I told all my sponsors, I said, look, I'm going to end up doing 6 or 8 tournaments. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm going to end up doing 6 or 8 tournaments a year, 10 tournaments a year. They're not going to be the elites, obviously, and they're not going to be a pro circuit or anything, but they're going to be a Toyota. They're going to be some team tournaments. They're going to be some specialty events, some things like we're doing here today or this, coming up soon. And I want my schedule. I want my schedule to be where if I do want to miss a tournament to go to a birthday party with one of my kids or a football game, then I'm going to miss. And I want to miss the tournament. I can miss the tournament. That's the way I want my schedule to be. And I think I deserve that after 25 years. The blessing in all of it is, how do you get off that horse, right? I mean, I was having, a great time fishing the elites. I still love fishing tournaments. I love the competitive part of everything. And how do you transition, right? That's a tough thing. I hear all these guys retiring lately. That's a tough decision. And so, ironically, I had made my mind up at the Classic. A lot of people don't know this, but I made my mind up at the Classic. My dad was there, my wife, all my kids. My mom, unfortunately, was not there because her health's not good. But I had made my mind up at the Classic when we're all together that year, last year, would be my last year. And I was going to actually announce it around the North Carolina timeframe and say at the end, hey, I'm going to finish out the year and transition to what I'm doing now. And obviously that all changed whenever the rest of the season went on with the North Carolina stuff. And it made my decision a lot easier. But I look at that again as a blessing, because that was tough to try to figure out. And I don't think I would have made that decision, that it would have been my last year, if the fiasco at Okeechobee and some of that had happened. You know what I mean? Like, because if everything would have just been smooth sailing, I just kept having a hard time of like, when is the right time, right? And so I'm an empty nest now. All my kids are gone. This is the first year we've ever been empty nesters. My wife and I have been married 26 years. She sacrificed her entire life while I fished tournaments. So, if I would have stuck on tour for another 2 or 3 years, what would I have got out of it? You know what I mean? Like, my wife would have been sitting here by herself. It would have just been awful. So again, to answer your question, it was a blessing. So what I'm doing now is fun stuff. I'm exploring all kind of other tournaments, having fun things, participating in other opportunities, doing a lot of saltwater fishing, which is fun. I just won my first saltwater tournament actually about 30 days ago. Big sailfish tournament down the Keys. That's the first big official sailfish tournament I won. We won a bunch of money and all these great trophies. Matter of fact, here's the trophy right here. I got all these trophies in my office. Oh my
God.
Yeah, I got all these trophies in my office, and they're really cool trophies. But I don't know if I've ever seen one like this, Matt. Check this thing out, dude.
That looks like one of those bill fishing tournaments where you're $750,000 in to win $1 million.
Yeah, that's kind of like that.
Like, you have to, like, what was your gas bill for that event, Scott?
Well, look, let's just say it's not very profitable. This is not very, how all of us bass fishermen complain about payouts and percentages of payouts, and we're always wanting to fight the organization on, we demand more. Like, they haven't figured that out in the sailfish tournaments yet.
Yeah, no, that's more of a bragging rights deal. Is that one of those deals where you pull the fish up to the side of the boat, measure it, touch the leader, it's considered a caught fish, that type of thing?
Yeah, in the sailfish events, it is, you don't have to measure it. It's just a release points. So each fish you release is 100 points, And so you have to leader it. Leader can't be more than 15 feet long. You have to verify the leader touch. You cannot just say, "Oh yeah, I touched it." You have to have it captured on GoPros. There, you have a whole team of people. You have to verify it. I mean, it's a big, major ordeal to qualify your release. And if you don't do it right, it doesn't count. So I think sailfishing for me, and somebody asked me this a couple days ago, and I said, "How, you know, in the saltwater now, don't you like it better than freshwater?" And it's actually no. I actually still like bass fishing way better. Bass are way smarter. I love the competitive part of bass fishing and trying to figure them all out. It's more challenging now, but sail fishing, believe it or not, is so far with the tournaments I've done is the most technical. Is the most technical saltwater tournament I think you can do, because you have a whole team of people and you have to manage your rods just right, and there's a lot of decisions to be made. We're flying kites with baits hanging off of them, and the bites are very finicky, and it's hard to hook these fish, believe it or not. And they jump; they're out of the water more than they're in the water. They're constantly jumping, and sometimes you'll hook 2 or 3 at a time, and they're going in different directions, and you have to like the boat. It is total and absolute chaos. It's so much fun. And the best part is you're jamming music, man. We got music jamming. I mean, it's a party while we're in the tournament. And I've never done that in a bass event. I don't have music playing and I'm not in a party.
I've been out there with Crete, and he just
Yeah.
jams rock music.
Yeah.
Big beam bit. Yeah, it's something else.
It's fun. It's fun, dude. It's fun.
I want to get back to the bass fishing thing. So you haven't done many like interviews on kind of what your plans are or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You've done some of your podcasts and things like that, but from kind of like March 25, I know you've jumped in some Toyotas, you've done some of that, and then the dual threat came up, which I think a lot of people thought that you were like a part of the dual threat. You were just a participant in the dual threat, where there happened to be one at Roland Martin Marina.
Correct.
In the first one of the year.
Yeah, that was a scary deal, because honestly, Matt, and I've said this before, like I didn't have any ownership or anything at all with that. But man, when he was, before we kind of figured out something fishy was going on, I was thinking like, man, I need to get involved with this. Like, this would be kind of cool if I was like part of this thing. And if that guy would have asked me early on, I might have participated in some way with him. But man, I didn't, luckily. But goodness gracious, if I would have, it'd have been nail in the coffin for me. That'd have been bad. So, yeah, that was a bad deal. The whole dual threat thing. That's, you know what though, and I feel bad for the people that did lose money. And not everybody lost money. There was maybe a dozen or 10 or so guys. That
some of the guys held his feet to the fire, and before there was money out, I think they got it. They got it cash. But
yeah, but you know what? For me, and I'm only speaking for me, because I know everybody had a different experience here. But it was a tournament. It was a tournament. We all see, the fishermen aren't a scam. He was a scam, but the fishermen weren't a scam. So we all organized and we ran a tournament, and so Hillary and I got to fish in a legitimate tournament, even though we didn't get paid. That part was a scam. But how much fun! That was so much fun and such a great memory for us to do together. And you take guys like Pake and some of the other guys that won the tournaments. They won the tournament. They didn't get paid, and that stinks, but they won a tournament. They beat everybody. And that sense of accomplishment, that sense of figuring it out, winning, is still there. So that was a really, really cool event for that part of it, obviously. So, but what I'm going to do going forward, I guess that's your question, right? What do you,
like, are we, I mean, like, you're Scott Martin, professional angler, but you're also Scott Martin, social media guy. You're Scott Martin, you represent all sorts of different sponsors, but I mean, your primary identity has been a professional angler for the past quarter century. Your family is, 9 angler of the years, your most winningest angler in FLW, the whole 9 yards. So like, are we going to see you on a tour? Are you going to jump in the Bass Nations to try to finish that unfinished family business and get back in the classic at any time? Or like, what does the tournament scene look like in your mind for the next 12 months?
12 months, it looks pretty simple. I'm gonna continue to fish a few Toyotas. Hiller and I are going to fish a few tournaments. There's a couple big team tournaments that we're fishing. and even some stuff around the country that I'm going to jump in, some little team tournament stuff around the country. And then for the unforeseeable future, that's kind of the direction I'm going to go. Um, look, the term professional angler, with some of the events that I'm fishing might not necessarily qualify as a professional, but at the end of the day, when I've done 25 years of being a professional, I don't really care. I'm gonna have fun. I just want to go have fun. I want to compete, and I want to capture it on film. I think there's some missed opportunities out there, and I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but I think there's some missed opportunities out there on some filming opportunities with some stuff that nobody's filming. And so that's kind of what I'm kicking around right now to try to do some stuff because I'm not so sure the fans really care what the brand of the tournament is, to be honest with you. I just want to see competition and storylines and the ups and downs of making decisions and doing well in tournaments or not. I think that's really at the end of the day what people want to watch. I don't necessarily think they care whether it's a Bass Elite or an MLF or a Toyota series or whatever the heck it could be. I think just capturing content out there is probably one of the most important things. So that's really my focus right now. We'll just see where it goes. But for me to jump back in any major tour, I don't see that happening anytime soon at all. I'm probably, as of right now, I'd probably say never. Um, is there an opportunity maybe down the road to, uh, swallow that big pill and maybe jump in an open every once in a while to try to get back to the classic? But I don't know. I got to think about that. It's definitely not in my cards right now, just based on some things. So, but we'll see. I'm not against that, but I am against going in and fishing a big tour and being tied up and having to miss important things going on in the world.
Is that
again,
weird? Like not having 8 months of your life tied. Like I would imagine that would be weird. Like you've never known anything different.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, and I said this a couple times this week. So I'm in my office right now, and I've been in my office a lot today, and I had to drive all over the place. Anyways, I'm working on so many things that like I have a list of things. It's just unbelievable the amount of stuff I'm doing, to the point where I realize, like, dang, dude, when I fish these tournaments, like Canterbury, now he's up at Santee right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at a tournament for a week, or back-to-back events like they're having, that's 2-week back-to-backs. I didn't fool with any of this stuff. I wasn't on the phone all day long trying to put deals together, and I wasn't doing this and that. I was just focused on fishing. And there was some peace when I think about it now. Like, I'm looking at it like I'm working harder now. I'm busier now than I was when I was fishing tournaments, So there is a little of that I'm starting to realize.
Yeah.
But we launched a new TV show as well this year called Vice Versa Adventures, and it's where we're taking the Freeman and we're going around and doing a lot of saltwater. It's all saltwater content. We did the whole Gulf of Mexico last year, and this year we're going to do the whole east coast of Florida, and then year 3 we're going to do Bahamas, and then so on and so forth. And that's a full shooting schedule as well. So between the Scott Martin Challenge TV stuff that we do now, the Vice Versa saltwater TV that we're doing, and then you sprinkle in all the YouTube stuff, and then you sprinkle in 7 or 8 or 10 fun tournaments a year. It's a full schedule, and I like it a lot. I'm excited about what we've got going on.
It wasn't that long ago where, you'd have a tough time getting a sponsor if you weren't on a major tour because you didn't have the Bassmaster magazine, you didn't have FLW TV or MLF or anything like that. But how have your sponsors responded to not being on a tour but still pumping out more social media and YouTube content and TV content?
So far, we've only had to make a couple small adjustments with some sponsors. Nothing big. All my partners for the most part have been very supportive. So all that was fine. One thing that I did, Matt, and I did this on purpose, but fortunately we had such a value with our YouTube stuff and the other things that I did, the TV show, etc., that when I went and sold, a sponsorship package, I never, ever one time used any data from Bassmaster. I didn't say, oh, hey, here's all the Bassmaster impressions I get, and here's all the airtime I got on Bassmaster this year and the Bass Times and the Bass Magazine or I didn't use any of that data. Zero of that data is part of my package. All my data was data that I had control over, which was our YouTube data. I'm in control of that. My TV data, I'm in control of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if your whole career is based on what uncontrollable deliverables, that's uncontrollable deliverables, by the way, because if you have a bad year, those numbers are zero. That's bad. And the day you want to quit fishing tournaments and maybe shift into a different gear, and your sponsors are all used to you selling them on your impressions that you got at Bassmaster or MLF, that's a tough day too. So I never used those metrics. It was part of the package as a like, hey, and by the way, we're fishing the Bass Elites, but I never leveraged that in any marketable capacity for that reason.
A couple quick hits here, and then we'll get to the announcement. And then I'll let you go. I'll let you go tonight. I want to go to your last pro circuit or FLW tour victory, and I've mentioned this on the show, but I've never personally asked you about it.
Mm-hmm. Which one was it, by the way?
It was the Cumberland one.
Yeah, that was neat.
Was that like early Panoptics that you were using? So I think a lot of people give Jason Christie credit for his win on up in Detroit.
100%. Yeah.
On
100%.
that. But I remember watching that Cumberland tournament, and I believe you were throwing a jerk bait around the timber like that, but you were making really short casts with it, and it was really confusing to me because I was like, there's no way he should be making those casts and catching those fish, because you don't fish like that.
Yeah.
Was that a live scope win in
100%.
April of 2017?
Yes. I was officially the first person to legitimately win a tournament strictly live scope tournament and Panoptics, and 100%. And that was such a neat tournament for me that, I kind of developed that during that event. And I would go to bed at night. I'd get my Google Maps out, and I'd go back and look at different years of the lake at different levels. And I would drop waypoints on like trees and stuff that I thought would be underwater. At that time, I thought it would be underwater. And I'd make about, I don't know, 15 or 20 different trees and stuff in different parts of the lake every day on that lower end. And then I'd fall asleep with my computer laying in the bed, and I'd wake up the next morning, for during the tournament. And I wake up during the tournament the mornings, and I'd be, okay, I got to transfer all the data. So you went and, I did all that transferring it over, and I'd walk out to my boat, at 5 a.m. and plug my chip in, and it upload all the stuff that I had marked that night. And that's the stuff I would run, on that lower end. And every day I would fish kind of different places and different creeks. And it was really neat to be able to use that live scope like that, because you couldn't physically see the trees. I mean, there was a few trees that you saw me fish that were sticking out of the water, but a lot of the trees I caught fish off of were under the water. And I'd watch them come out of the tree. I'd look over there and see a tree with 4 or 5 fish.
That was the red blob at the time on the blue screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With a little bit of vapor trail on it.
Yep. And I'd watch them come after it, so I was catching them on a jerk bait, and it was definitely groundbreaking. And I utilized it for the whole tournament, for the most part. So yeah, I would say that was the first live scope win for sure.
And then you had to say, we're not talking about this, because you kind of had it for Wendlet was a little bit early. Chris there, McClellan. I know one of the Lees had. There are a bunch of those Garmin guys that kind of had it, but I think you're the first one that kind of understood the power of it.
I did, and what's crazy is I didn't understand it. Like it's funny how our brains work, right? We used to think things like, fish aren't out in the middle of the lake just floating around. Like 10 years ago, nobody thought that. Like we thought that they transitioned over here, and then they transitioned over here, and they did all these things. And I remember fishing the TVC tournament, that Toyota Texas thing at work. and me and Mark Rose and I were fishing in the same road bed down by the dam, and he was cranking with a big plug, and I got out there off that hump, and I was out in like 30 feet of water, and I didn't know fish floated then. This is before I knew fish floated like they did. And I just thought it was an anomaly for the day because it was these big thunderstorms and all these low clouds. And I started scoping out there, and I was out in 30 feet of water, and I started seeing blobs on the screen like 10 feet down, just like we see them today. And at first I thought, I was like, those must be catfish or gar. And I threw a weightless fluke, one of those Lake Fork flukes, a big 7-inch fluke. I threw it over to one of them and let it sink down, and the blob swam up. I watched it swim up and eat it and take off. And I caught it was like a 7-pound bass. And I ended up catching like a mid-30 bag that day. And Mark Rose was literally, 50 yards from me cranking, and he started saying, like, "What are you doing? Like, how are you catching those fish?" And he didn't even have live scope on his boat. Like I don't know where it was or what, he wasn't utilizing it. And I was just like, I didn't tell him exactly what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, they came up schooling out here or something. But there were blobs floating at Lake Fork. This was like 2000. It might have been before 17. This had to be like 16 or 15. Like literally like one of the first years Penop just came out with it. And I still just thought that day was an anomaly because of the storms. I never thought after that I could run around the lake and blob them. But just imagine if I would have been smarter.
Oh, you don't want
myself,
everything.
I'd have been
doing it.
I'd have been the only guy doing it like 5 years before anybody, and it would have been just an absolute epic deal. But I missed it. Like I just had no idea.
Yeah, that's a good story though. But yeah, 2017. Go back and watch that Cumberland. Watch how Scott's making the cast, and where I realize it, being a nerd who watches everything. Back then I'd be like, Scott only casts where his trolling motor's pointing. Yeah, and I could because you always have like the chesty thing on, so that's the only thing that you could like really see.
Yeah,
and I
always
thought that was weird because like no one cared where the trolling motor was pointed.
Right. It's funny you call up on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I mean, like I was at Grand and the no scope open, and I made a cast to a dock and like panned the trolling motor head over and was really like, oh, I don't have. I mean, like I have my cover on my Garmin there. I'm like, it's
funny.
Just
that's funny. Well,
I did kind of. Go ahead.
The other one I did too, and I'm not saying I was the first at this, but one of the first ones for people to notice it on TV was the perspective mode. When I almost won Harris Chain about 5 or 6 years, my first year on the elites, like 5 or 6 years ago, I almost won that tournament, and I was perspective with them in the lily pads in that little lake, and I ended up finishing 4th or 5th in the tournament. And I didn't say much, while I was doing it, but that's how I caught them there, using live scope in perspective and in forward mode in the pads, catching them. And some people noticed it, kind of like you noticed it, through my videos. Are like, okay, I can tell what he's doing something special here. And so yeah, interesting.
All right, let's come full circle, and we'll end your segment with kind of what we started with you saying you're just kind of fishing what you want to, and certain things that kind of come up and one-offs. And one of them is something that just dropped. Wired to Fish had a good press release on it. The title is Fishing Chaos Brings the Future with New Live Stream Tournament Format. There it is, right there. Cool. It's called The Future, and it is we'll have Tom Brubaker on in the second half, who will correct me on anything I get wrong on this, but it is a one-off, one-day live, like a mega live stream event on Lake Guntersville on May 27th, where there's some of the top professional anglers in the game, some of the top influencers and media people in the game that are pairing up. Yeah. And everybody is live streaming it on their own channels. So it'll be like on your channel, it'll be on BTL, it'll be on, Tyler Anderson's channel, Lucas's channel, Garrett Walters' channel, Tristan, all these people that are in it. And then there'll be a central hub on the Fishing Chaos app. And it's kind of like the first one-off where it's a true, you can watch whatever team whenever you want. Everybody can put their own twist on it, get their views, get their impressions, promote their sponsors. And then Fishing Chaos has the hub where you can watch it all as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, this is going to morph into something much bigger eventually. but we're going to get the first one off the ground this month actually. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head. The interesting part is there's going to be some really interesting teams. Okay,
yes, and the teams have not been announced.
That's
and
right.
I've been told under penalty of death. I was told by Tom that there is a good chance you would let the cat out of the bag on who you're fishing with. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to not let that happen and keep Tom a very happy president or whatever his title is at Fishing Chaos.
I can tell you this: I'm not fishing with you. Okay, I'll say that. But I do know that, and not that I would want to. I would actually want to, but that is not part of the team. But yes, there is going to be some amazing announcements on the teams coming up soon. And I cannot wait for everybody to see what's going on. There's even another team coming that has not been announced yet that we're working on. That it's going to be a mystery team.
Yes, we have tried to fish together in a Scott Martin challenge against Andrew Upshaw at a small lake that involved a lot of lightning and a lot of thunderstorms, and it just did not go well. And at the end of it, you just looked at me and you went, "This will never see the light of day."
Yeah, it was done. It was done. We tried,
but yeah,
we tried.
An incredible lineup on there. Hillary and yourself. Will be in that too, as well as, and we'll go over a bunch of Tom Brubaker. I see a bunch of guys on here, more details on it, but I wanted to get you on. I wanted to do kind of a standalone BTL before we announce that, and look forward to see what you have coming down the line, Scott.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm really excited about. Number one, we've got Tom Brubaker really working on this. This is great. He's such a smart individual, very, very creative. We've got some major support behind the scenes on this deal as well, and so this is just the beginning. I think as we get this first one off the ground, we prove our concept here. Bigger and better things will be coming, and it's awesome. So I know I know it's something that the fans want. Obviously, you've seen how they clamored over the dual threat stuff and some of the other events that have gone on recently. Some of the live stuff. That's really entertainment and education at the same time. And I think that's really what we're going to be putting out there, and being able to stream them across all of our different platforms. You start looking at numbers that really can make a huge impact when you take everyone's platforms and you times it by all these numbers, and we get an overall reach of a big number here for this. It's going to be awesome. And like I said, bigger and better things coming. So, and Guntersville, I mean, what a great lake to do the first event on. Fantastic fishing, of course, lots of different ways to catch them. And the format is interesting. I'm not sure we can talk about that yet, but I'll just say the format's going to be very interesting. Lots of different types of format going on throughout the day. And there is a fan activation as well. So if you guys are watching this, definitely be paying attention to the dates and the times. And I believe we're starting late in the afternoon. I think it's a 12
to 7.
12 to 7, which is even better. So we get that afternoon bite. I mean, how awesome is the afternoon bite on the Tennessee River in May? I mean, like, I don't know how many times I've been out there practicing.
So,
oh my gosh, dude.
Always late in the fall.
It's now any Tennessee River thing in May or June, man, that afternoon deal from 3 o'clock till dark, it's a whole different animal as far as how those fish bite on those ledges and get set up. It is going to be lights out. And then to be able to have a lot of fans show up too, to the weigh-ins late in the afternoons where they're all off work. So it's really, I think the time of the tournament and all that's really makes a lot of sense.
It's going to be interesting. Scott, I appreciate it. There's some comments on here about you saving a baby goat at Amistad, some other questions. I would love to get you on. Once things kind of slow down, there's always that kind of mid-summer lull, get you back on for another full kind of hour plus BTL.
Let's do one sooner than later. We can talk about baby goats. We can talk about all kind of – I got lots of stories, but I promise you that.
All right. I appreciate it, Scott. Thank you. Have a safe travels tomorrow.
See you guys. All right. See you, Matt.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I see in the queue, I see a lot of tired looking Elite Series guys who probably just got their ass pounded on Santee Cooper today in waves because because it's a big lake. I don't want to keep them waiting. I also see Tom Brubaker there. I'm gonna truncate our commercial break, so we'll be back in exactly 1.5 minutes. This is BTL at night on a Tuesday night, announcing the future Fishing Chaos's new era of competitive fishing, a extravaganza live stream event that will take place on May 27th from 12 to 7 p.m. and we'll get into the field more after that. This is BTL at night. We'll be back right after these messages.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
All right, welcome back. BTL on a Tuesday night, talking about a one-off live stream extravaganza that will take place on Lake Guntersville. We're going to bring Tom Brubaker in, but then we're going to very quickly bring in the Elite Series guys who are participating in this, and I'm going to bring them in order of how tired they look. So we're going to definitely start with Kyle Patrick, and then we'll go to Logan and G, and then we'll bring them in all at the same time. What's up, Tom?
What's up? I'll get through this quick because I know it's
notice I had you ask them to come on tonight because I knew better than to be like, hey, after you're done practicing for 13 hours, why don't you just jump on a live stream?
Yeah, that's why I try to call them always after 9:30.
I mean, just look at this. Tristan, he looks like he just got his ass kicked for 12 hours. Kyle, I mean, he always looks like he just had his ass kicked for 12 hours. And then G always has that kind of smile on. Logan looks like he just got off the water after a long time. So anyway.
Logan looks like he actually maybe figured something out.
This is a cool event, Tom. Run us through the details again. Scott and I kind of touched on it really quick. I'm gonna put up the details first, and this is kind of a Fishing Chaos thing that is the way I understand it, highlighting the capabilities of what you guys can do at Fishing Chaos with what we think kind of, and what you kind of see the potential for future competition to be like outside of kind of Elite Series, BPT, that type of stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, really it's about, meeting a need, recognizing a need, and then finding a solution for it. We know that for a while there's been more people getting into the streaming side of things. I mean, it's more all access. And then, layering that into the competition side, actually, Logan was one of the first to ever do that. Obviously, there's rules against streaming during those competitions, which, makes sense for various leagues to do that. But it also makes sense to facilitate events that anglers can monetize their streams and layer in some things when doing that, add some enhancements for the viewer experience. At Fishing Chaos, we run tournaments. We run 7,000 tournaments a year. And so for us, we want to be able to provide a service to more tournaments and trails to be able to stream, more than they have before, not just the weigh in, but being able to have, cameras on the water. And with some of the people we've been working with, they've got the technology, they've got the know-how, and it is, I can't really explain it. You're just going to have to see it for yourself. But it'll blow some people's minds, and it'll just make the informational side of what you have in front of you while you're watching fishing, it'll just make it that much more dynamic and engaging. And so we've been wanting to do this just solely based on just people that I know and have relationships with the industry, and it's content creators too that have said, we want a competition. We want somebody to put it together. So who better than a company that does that as our main service? And it just seemed like really good timing. I mean, after the dual threat thing, I mean, Matt, I kind of told you I'd been making a lot of efforts to restart that in a different way, different name, and obviously having payouts that were promised. But it actually showed the dual threat, the team series side. There was an appetite for it, and you saw like with Kyle Patrick's stream during that. I mean, it blew a lot of people's minds. So we want more of that. We want to get that in more people's boats. And
probably made more on his live stream for dual threat than he would have if he cashed a check.
Not wrong.
But all right, let's run through the names and then we'll bring these guys in. We'll let them get to bed. They got another hard day of practice together. But these anglers, in no particular order, will be paired up with another angler or social media czar, whatever you want to say, but that has not been announced yet. So participating in this, Jordan Lee, Scott Martin, Christine Fisher, Gerald Swindle, Dylan Nutt, Justin Lucas, Slick Johnson, Logan Parks, Garrett Walters, Rob G. I always call him Robert. Rob sounds weird to me. I don't know why that is. I always say Robert. I don't know. He just looks like a Robert to me. Lucas Black from Friday Night Lights, Fast and Furious, and Belly Bombs, selling out of the Belly Bombs on a daily basis.
And Toyota Series angler. And
Toyota Series. I think he fishes a ton of stuff. Boom Boom, Hillary Martin, Carter Nutt, who just won, me, who somehow got into this field, Kyle Patrick, who recently weighed in with a fresh, cleanly shaven face that looked well moisturized and completely normal, Keith Poche, Alec Perrick, Laker Howell, Tristan McCormick, JMFW, who may or may not have the opportunity to fish one specific boat dock on Lake Guntersville, Tyler Anderson, Andrew Nordby, and a mystery team. That's a heck of a field. So, I mean, I don't know what all these pairings are. I'm not going to announce it now. I know who I'm fishing with, but for the most part, it'll be media person, influencer, something paired with professional angler.
Yes.
And then there'll be some professional angler and professional angler pairings. Mm-hmm. But this is kind of a one-off opportunity. The thing that I like, Tom, is everybody's streaming it. So let's bring in Kyle Patrick. What's up, Kyle Patrick?
What's up, Matt?
You look exhausted.
Dude, I'm beat, but this is exciting, so I'm locking in.
Yeah. So, Kyle Patrick, you're going to be streaming this on the KGP YouTube channel and also on Fishing Chaos, correct? That's the way I understand it, right, Tom?
Yep, me and my goatee.
Oh, you went with the goatee. Now that you went away with the zinc, you have a horrible looking goatee.
I put on my glasses to see it.
Tristan McCormick, thanks for jumping on. So, Tristan McCormick, it'll be on your YouTube channel as well as Fishing Chaos.
No, I'm fired up about this, guys. It's gonna be a game changer. I'm whooping KGP's asses in this tournament too. I can promise you that.
That's a fact.
Tristan just got a text. He didn't have it. I don't know. You caught him in the last one. If before Murray, I would have said that wouldn't be difficult to do, Kyle. But you're back on track. You can't. This is BTL. You can't give the middle finger on BTL.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I'm tired.
And there's Robert. There's Rob. Good God. There's Robert G and Logan Parks.
Sorry.
What's up? What up?
This thing has gone off the rail.
Exactly
interested. Kyle Patrick just gave the first double middle finger in BTL history on live.
Well, listen. John Garrett tried to call me and interrupt this. So, I mean,
he called me too. He literally just called me.
And then there's Logan Parks, who we can't really see because they decided to go vertical tonight instead of horizontal. And There you go. And Robert G. So Logan, it'll be on your YouTube channel, and then he just hit it, and now he doesn't have audio. If this event goes anything like the introduction that we've had tonight, this is going to be. There they are. This is going to be phenomenal.
Are we in? Are we good?
Yeah, we're golden. So this is the biggest selling point. I'll say that,
John.
Tom, on this is you want everybody to stream it on their channel. So if you just want to watch,
our Elite Series practice has gone at Santee too.
if you just want to watch the disaster that is Kyle Patrick or the smooth confidence of Tristan McCormick on the water, you can watch that.
I can't hear Matt now.
Oh God.
We can hear you.
There, I can hear Tom. I can't hear Matt.
Okay, well, we'll relay it. Am I getting this right? Am I understanding that we're going to have a ton of different streams that everybody can watch, which is what we've been asking for in professional bass fishing, instead of just one at a time?
Everyone's streaming. You get 7 hours of Rob G, of Nacho and Steven. So, yes, it's what the people want. This is the tournament of the people. It's what they asked for, so we're doing it. And I do want to say I wanted to make this like a 50 boat, 60 boat field, and I've gotten several texts from people that were like, that thing I can't say on BTL, why did you not include me in this tournament? And it's because we only have so much equipment right now. We're going to get more. We got to get better at this. We got to start somewhere. So,
all right, here's the kicker on this, Tom. Mm-hmm. There are 3 teams that will qualify for the Ultimate Angler Championship.
How fired up are you?
I'm so fired up. Also, Tristan, I don't think you can hear Matt, but we can hear you.
Log back out and log back in, Tristan, and then you'll be able to hear me. Tom, you're going to have to relay that message to Tristan.
You have to log out. Tristan, log out and log back in. See, technology's hard.
I think we should ban it.
Ban technology. I'm so for that.
Ban it all.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing, and Kyle, I don't even get the Nacho and Steven reference, but Logan.
Are you kidding me? What?
I'm 41
You ever watched
years
Nacho
old.
Libre?
I know I haven't seen Nacho Libre.
What? How uncultured of you.
I do know who Nacho Libre is, and I'm assuming that you're Nacho.
I'm Nacho and he's Steven.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
The Ultimate Angler Championship. This is that $500,000 tournament on Guntersville. This is like an 11, 12 boat team tournament. There are 6 spots up for grabs in this event.
Yep. And your percentages of getting one of those spots just got better because now you got to have both of the Nut brothers that are qualified for Ultimate Angler. And that's the thing that I love about this tournament is they have no real reason to fish this other than the fact that they want to kick everybody's butt in the field. That's why. So then that's a quote from them.
Honestly, I'm not going to bet against them. So
come on, Kyle.
But I mean, Kyle, that's got to be a big carrot here, like to really want to go after it with whoever you're fishing with to get that spot.
Yeah. Whoever I'm fishing with. I
can't hear Kyle either.
First of all, I'm getting married the day of the Ultimate Angler Championship, so it pretty much means nothing for me. But I'm gonna grind for my partner.
See.
Are you going to miss your wedding for it if you qualify for it?
Absolutely not.
His voice, his mouth is just moving.
This is why I did the first half of the show with Scott, because I knew it would be smooth and professional. And then you gave me the list of 4 guys that were coming on. And I was like, God, I'm glad this is an evening show.
I texted everybody I thought might text me back.
Tristan, can you hear me now?
I can hear everybody just perfectly
you
now.
have to be excited because you are one of the guys, too, that I'm sure would love to get in the $500,000 Ultimate Angler Championship at Guntersville later this year.
Oh, without a doubt. And according to my Elite Series status so far, I'm not going to qualify through that. So, because I keep getting my ass whooped by Rob G. So, I mean, he just pops out top 10s and rub belly pats all day long, and I just donate all my money to him. So, I'm stoked. Tennessee River, TVA.
And now he just got another.
I'm glad we're not relying on you guys.
Dude, John Garrett keeps calling me on purpose. It's about to piss me off.
Kind of sad John hasn't tried to interrupt me on this yet.
He's bitter that he's not in the field. All right, can you hear me Logan. Oh,
Is that
that's
John Garrett?
in the
Is that
background.
John Garrett right there? Oh
Yes.
my God! I'm gonna.
Can y'all hear us?
I can't hear Kyle at all.
Yeah.
Is John in the room with
It's
you?
actually better, honestly, to see Kyle's mouth moving but not hear anything.
You want to know what's really weird? There's 2 Tristans down in my
Logan,
thing, too.
Logan, tell
Hey, someone
Okay,
relay the
seriously,
message to
fine,
John
John.
Garrett. Wait, I'm actually not.
Isn't it peaceful to not hear Kyle?
I can just see his I can just see his mouth moving.
Logan and G, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I just can't hear Kyle.
So
It's
I'm gonna
honestly
pull this, I'm
phenomenal.
going to pull this up, and we've got Jordan Lee, Scott Martin, Christine Fisher, Gerald Swindle, the Nut Brothers, Justin Lucas, Slick, Garrett Walters, Lucas Black, Freddie Boom Boom, Hillary, myself, Keith Poche, Alex Perrick, Laker Howell, JMFW, Tyler Anderson, Andrew Norby. Who are you looking at as guys that you don't want to tangle with on Guntersville on May 27th?
Or girls.
Or girls. Robert G, I'll ask you directly.
Probably scared of nobody.
Yeah, I'm not.
Not scared of anybody.
Nope.
Logan?
Not at all.
I mean, the mystery angler, you never know about that guy or girl. So we'll have to wait and see who that is. But
Who do you not want the mystery angler to be? If it was one person, who do you not want it to be? It has to be a professional angler.
Jacob Wheeler.
Yeah, Jacob Wheeler. Or Kevin Van Dam.
Yeah, Van Dam on the TVAs that time of year would be a handful.
Should we just call Kevin right now and see if he's in?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a horrible
I could be
idea.
convinced.
He's retired.
joking.
I think it's Eastern time in Michigan. That's 9:30.
It's
You have to
Eastern
go through
time.
Sherry to even get a hold of Kevin for an interview.
Sherry would kill this in 5 seconds. No
Oh
chance.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Any last words? I appreciate you guys getting on. Kyle looks like his eyes are about to fall out.
I'm so tired, and I bent my prop shaft today because I hit a dang tree on the way in. So silly,
dude,
So-
Rob and Logan, bro.
All right. What we're gonna see is all this.
And
All
more.
this is going to be live on all their individual channels and on the Fishing Chaos app. And there's going to be spots in the Ultimate Angler Championship on the line. So it's going to be serious with the trash talk, with the team element. And I think that's what's going to make this work, which is why I'm pretty excited about it. And I think although none of you talked excessively, you all demonstrated why it's going to work quite efficiently.
Yeah, we're gonna whoop Tristan. That's a given.
Here we
We're gonna
go.
whoop him up and down the street.
Who do you think, if you were to guess, Robert, who do you think Tristan would be fishing with out of this list that I just pulled up?
I don't even know. So
So, Tristan's got a thing for blondes, so probably Hillary Martin.
yeah.
Okay. Kyle,
I
who,
just drooled
from being tired.
Why did you drool?
because I was laughing. Well, okay. Whoa. That's, yeah. What was the question?
We just
Kyle-
can't hear Kyle.
yeah, Kyle's muted on our end.
Kyle, who on this, like put your dream team together? Like, would the Nut Brothers together be pretty difficult to handle, you think?
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible or difficult?
Look, dude, everyone can act tough and be like, I'm going to go there. I'll beat anyone on any lake. No. The Nut Brothers will literally double
I think
nut
we're the only
Everyone
ones
can
that
hear
hear
him except us.
all over you.
Rob,
If you can't-
so
yeah, go
Kyle's saying that he is literally gonna just destroy y'all, and it's not even gonna be a competition, bro. Like,
bro.
Not even gonna be a
Dude,
competition.
dude, I'm gonna
Cal,
literally.
have you heard of the
straight
term
up, look, hold on.
BTA? It stands for
Dude.
belt to ass. And that is
Dude,
what you're going to
listen,
be
listen.
receiving
Tristan,
at this Lake Guntersville tournament.
Tristan,
Good old BTA. And you heard it first on BTL.
I didn't
Hey,
say
listen.
a damn thing. It wasn't
Wait.
me.
So, Tristan, I want you to tell Rob I'm going to straight Darth Vader invade Ewokville.
I can't even hear him. He's so triggered. You're so mad. I can't even hear you, dude.
Tristan, convey the message, Tristan.
Tell him, Tristan.
He said he's gonna Ewok all over your face, is what he said. And Darth Vader your ass, is what he said.
Oh my
We're
God.
getting demonetized 100%.
Hey, listen, I'm just here to tell y'all, my partner's Dylan Nuts, so y'all cooked either way. I'm just gonna sit there and hold the net.
Facts. Tristan doesn't even know the format. I think
have
Rob
no
is probably
idea
the
what's
only
going
one
on.
that knows.
Okay.
I love it.
Matt, are you trying to shut this down, or do you?
No,
need
I'm
see
trying
what the
to
format
let
is?
Tristan, Nacho, Steven, and KGP go to bed so they can practice in the morning, and then me and you can chat about the details in a serious fashion.
Okay, that's fair.
I've used the term gentleman very loosely after this debacle, but
I'm the oldest one in this group out of all four of us.
are you
so,
really?
Yes.
Hey, do
Impossible.
you remember?
Super
Do
old.
you remember the
That's not
first time we
possible. I'm
met?
29.
Tristan?
I do. At the Toyota series in, where was that? Ozarks or
Table Rock Lake in
Yeah.
2019 at the La Quinta Inn.
Tristan,
Yeah,
how
was-
old are you?
29.
Are you really?
I thought Tristan was like 30 and was just like jumping in it
29.
at the time because he had the same facial hair at the time, and he was like a sophomore in college.
Oh gosh. Good times.
Yeah,
Did he
All
have
right.
the Dirty Max giant truck?
he did.
Dirty Max 911.
He's
baby.
always had the vehicle dialed in. Him and competition between Tristan McCormick and Zach Burge for the most money spent on trucks over the past 10 years.
Well, I bought his truck, so he's got.
Oh, you bought one of Zach's trucks?
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
perfect.
Zach wins.
Yeah. He's got me beat, dude.
I got some work done at one of the places where he gets his tires, and the dude was like, yeah, he gets a new set every 3 months.
Hey, funny about that, Matt. He sent me a Snapchat today and was like, it was a check for $7,000 for a set of rims and tires. I was like, bro, it's good, dude. You've made $400,000 on a jackhammer chatterbait in like 3 months, so I think you can afford it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, stay safe out there. Good luck. And we look forward to watching all four of you on Bassmaster Live. All
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
y'all.
it, fellas.
right.
Did you say
Catch you
Bassmaster Live?
Yeah. Is that bad? This weekend. I'm just saying that everybody's going to make it. No one can hear me.
That's 'cause-
All right, Tom.
yeah.
Accidentally, I think that was a great representation of what this event could be.
It's perfect. It was actually intentional. I figured that I mean, at your expense, I know you like to keep a clean running show.
Tight ship.
but
I did not
Nice.
hear the phrase BTA and double barrel
double-
middle fingers on a Tuesday night. BTL did not have that in the bingo cards, but
I'm surprised that's not like a segment for you where like you do this at every elite where you just get with one house of people and talk to all of them.
No, I leave them alone during the derbs for the most part because this is what
I
you
used
end
to
up
do that.
with. Dude,
Yeah.
I plan on doing lives every single night of the opens, and by the time we come in and have cooked dinner between Matt, Stefan, and the other guys, like no one's in the
No
mood
way.
to sit down and use brain power.
No. Hey, I'll tell you that segment you did with Scott was really good, and I think he had been on the water all day. I mean, he can just
Well,
always.
that's Scott Martin. He's a robot,
Yeah.
so
I mean, he can really be. But he can just turn energy back on, like which I wish I had that skill.
I'm gonna pull this back up though. Tom, how did you come up with this field?
Man, I can't even begin. I'll tell you where I started. I started with, and this is a fact, and I'll say this in case he's watching it, but I called Kaz Anderson first and tried to get Kaz and Robin here as a team. And then Kaz had the BFL All-American. So he was the only one that I asked about this that could not do it. And so he'll be in the next one for sure. I mean, like I said, I honestly have just as many people that were like not in a particular order that I just wasn't able to include in the field just because limitations on, equipment in the amount of time that we have. So, I can't even begin to tell you how I picked that field. A lot of it was, I got some suggestions from people. There's people that, do a lot to support Fish and Chaos. And people that I worked with at Rather at Strike King and Lose and had relationships from MLF. But yeah, there's 15 or 20 people that I would have loved to have in this, probably more than that. That if we had the equipment, we'd be running it right now. If this wasn't our first one and we needed to test it with a smaller field, we'd have more people in it for sure.
So
just try to find people that you think would match up well on a boat too.
Yeah. What I'm hearing is that this is kind of the maiden voyage of something that you and Fishing Chaos are looking to make potentially a series or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I would call it a catalyst of opportunity. That people want to do this. You have so many great personalities and anglers in the sport, and that streaming hasn't really fully taken hold in this industry yet. And I think some opportunities that they don't have at the professional level to monetize their platforms, I think that maybe stalls it a little bit. It kind of takes away that motivation to go and get it for doing it on your own. But people they can stream during practice. And so, supplying them with the equipment, I think a good many of them will continue to stream with that same equipment and service after the fact. And then it just allows us to do stuff like this more often. And then if we wanted to do, a stream series where we have one-on-one competitions and people are qualifying for other things throughout the year, into bigger and cooler events. Streaming is just, if you can get the equipment. When I worked at Major League Fishing, it was, and it still is, very, very expensive to get all of those people and cameras onto boats. And so being able to stream high quality and then have the production element layered into it, it just makes it more accessible for the general public. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say we didn't start out doing this to say we want to create a series. We wanted to get people streaming. We wanted to test different things within the stream, different equipment, different user engagement, I would say features like being able to, like even being able to pop this question up. So will everyone have a Starlink? Yes, everyone will have a Starlink. But even that question like that, like, so during this tournament, you can actually ask questions of the anglers while they're fishing and engage with them during the tournament. And so, there's still, it's obviously high stakes. You're trying to qualify for a tournament that pays out $500,000. But at the same time, I think everybody understands that this is just like the right thing to do right now. Everybody that I talked to, even before the Ultimate Angler thing, they wanted to get in it because of what it represents. It's just the right group getting together for something. Really, it's getting together because they want to, and it's fun. And so I don't know where it will go from here. I would love to see it continue. I'd love to see brands get involved with it. We'd love to see it sponsored. I'd love to see someone take it and run with it and, implement obviously what we're doing and our services we provide. But I think it was kind of refreshing because it was just sort of one day I was like, you know what, like, let's just do this now. Like, we know we have the technology, we know we have the capability, we know there's the interest in it. I'm going to make a few calls and see if people will be available sometime in May to do this. And then it started coming together and it was like, okay, well, let's go for it because why not?
And no entry fee. And kind of the caveat to this is the Fishing Chaos partnership with the Ultimate Angler, championships, and those spots then will be given out to the top 3 finishing teams.
Yes, top 3 finishing teams. Now, are people, like I said, that were already qualified. So, and there will be a cash payout. We'll release that soon. But if you're already qualified for Ultimate,
we lost Tom. We're due for a commercial break anyway, so we'll take a quick break and then we'll get Tom back here. BTL on a Tuesday night with a pretty cool announcement on Fishing Chaos, a new era of competitive fishing, the Ultimate Angler. We'll take a 30-second break, and then I think we got Tom back.
When I'm in a tournament, conditions are constantly changing, and every second matters. With the Deep Dive app, I can instantly pull up all the current lake conditions all in one spot, so no more looking at weird government websites. In just one quick glance, I have water clarity, water level, wave forecast. It's all right there in the Deep Dive app. Download the Deep Dive app and get all the tools you need to put together an awesome tournament.
All right, we're just on a roll tonight. You back?
I'm back.
That was a quick and rapid exit, but continue on with your thought, because I think this is. I've had a couple calls today that are just like, what, why, and what is it? And I think this kind of does a good job of explaining that.
Yeah. Can you hear me first off?
Yeah. You're golden.
Cool, because I think that may have been the reason I got booted out. I got the. Did you know that you can stream on these Osmo cameras? That's kind of cool.
I did.
It's a webcam. Pretty sweet. I just figured that out. I mean, I honestly don't remember where I was going with that.
You're just talking about how you came up with the field, why now, why this format, that type of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, Fishing Chaos runs tournaments. We interface with a lot of anglers. We talk to a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of brands. We know that there is it's not a desire for something like better. It's not to say that any league is doing something wrong. It's just there's opportunity to create revenue streams for anglers and to create opportunities for tournaments to be able to, of any size, to be able to stream. And that falls right in line with what we do with, serving tournaments and anglers. And it just seemed like everybody, I mean, I don't know. It just it felt like the right timing from the conversations that I was having. And so, yeah, I think, what we hope to establish from this is just being more normalized, I guess, with anglers streaming and regularly streaming, because there's just so much you can do from an education standpoint too, and a content creation standpoint. I mean, if you can go out and stream and you're streaming 8 hours and you can get, 5 or 6 or more different moments during that you can put to your social, that's we live in a fully connected world now too. So I think being able to, if you want to challenge, I mean, shoot, you and Jeffries, I don't know if Jeffries, you guys could, I don't even know.
We used to do a one-on-one every single year. We did it 6 or 7 years in a row.
Now you can't, you don't need to be on the same link, but like, I'd love to see McCormick call out Kyle Patrick and they don't even have to be on the same link. And it's just like, all right, bro, 2 hours, best 5 fish, like, let's go. That kind of stuff.
Yes, it's mandatory. Each team is going to stream.
Mandatory. Yes.
So like you said, if you wanted to watch me and whoever I'm paired with fish, you can go to BTL and it'll be streaming on BTL. It'll also be streaming on the Fishing Chaos, but that will be a centralized stream. So between between the 9 million followers that the people who are in this tournament have, it'll be on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc., all sorts of different stuff. So your whole goal here is to provide as much specialized content from each team as possible. Is definitely what the goal is, because that's what Tom told me the goal was prior to him leaving. Oh, he was back and now he's back. I think he's getting text. There you go. You getting tech? Oh, now you're back.
No, I'm back.
I can hear you. I just don't have video.
It's me like not.
Oh, messing with the Osmo.
Yeah, I thought I could get fancy with it and switch it back, but
yeah. No, well, I plan on streaming with my Osmo
You can.
during the future new era of competitive fishing. So last question, Tom, before we wrap this stuff up, when will teams be announced? How will people be able to find that out? And kind of what's the schedule look like between now, May 12th, and the event May 27th?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what my goal is. My goal is to have all the teams announced early next week. I'd like to be able to do it either all at one time, or, if people want to individually go live with the person they're fishing with, that's great.
What the teams are.
Yes. Yep.
And there's some wild teams.
There are some. I would love to see people in the comments guess. If anybody gets it 100% right, like,
let me pull it back up.
You can fish
this
tournament.
Pull it back up.
We'll find you a partner.
See who some of the guesses are. How is the progress with the mystery angler coming along?
It's going well. There could be another mystery team. So yeah, there's a mystery angler, and there's possibly entirely another team that's jumping in this. So yeah, it depends on. Again, it seems pretty straightforward when you look at the list, but actually getting it all connected and people that will fish with each other. It's hard. And then are they available?
Scott just took it to the next level, saying that the mystery angler will be Boyd Duckett and he'll be fishing with James Watson. Here's a guess of Panger and Poche.
We're actually doing a segment called From Boyd's Dock during the stream.
Have you cleared this with Mr. Duckett?
No, I've not.
You're just going to roll up and jump on his dock. Someone is saying Zona and Sanders as the mystery team.
Oh, that's a very good guess. I'll say that.
Yes, that's very funny. I get where you're going with that. P squared. Pat Parks and Patrick. Poche and Patrick. KVD is a guess. Ike and Benton is another guess as the mystery team. But if you look at this list, there's some very interesting dynamics at play, which I think you intentionally included anglers for that.
Yes. Yep.
The other thing is 12 to 7, so you can watch it when you get home. You can watch it at work.
Yes.
Which, as we all know, no one's very productive at work after 12. So you started at 12 and then
start on your lunch break. Never come back.
And I like the last hour. Like, talk about that deal. It's like a free for all, no live scope power hour. So we know Randy will only be watching this for an hour. But
hey, I tried to get Randy in this deal, and he told me I needed to send him an email, and I was doing too many things at one time. He didn't want to just call me back. So I would love to have Randy fish this deal. Maybe he'll fish the next one.
Wait, he told you to send him an email?
Yeah, I called him. It was just like,
and your lack of his advanced technology and your lack.
I texted him and said, "Hey, Randy, here's the deal. Like, I have very limited time to pull all of this together and align all these things. So if you're somewhat interested in talking about this, just let me know." But he was like, "Well, shoot me an email." And I'm like, "Okay, it's not really one of those kind of deals. We gotta churn and burn here." So, but I think he probably would have turned me down anyways. And that's when I called you, Matt. So that's not accurate. I called you before that, but so it's the last hour is every fish counts, no forward facing sonar. First 6 hours, there's 5 fish limit.
And is it a Bubba scale deal, catch, weigh, release, or is it actually box them?
Is it actually? It is catch, weigh, release.
And everybody has their Bubba scales, and then it'll all be inputted.
It may not have to be
connected.
It may not have to be a Bubba scale. It could be any scale that connects directly
into the Fishing Chaos app.
The Fishing Chaos. So
will we be able to see the leaderboard as it stands, or will that be blind to us?
Oh no, you will absolutely be able to see it. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't want to keep you guys in the dark. You got to strategize, you know?
Yeah, I like
Or
it.
if you're Kyle, you just got to get more sad throughout the day because you go, oh, the Nut Brothers again. They caught.
I'll tell you what, that was a ragged bunch of 4 guys that looked like Santee Cooper was just beating them down, didn't it?
Yeah, they didn't go in February this year.
They're also on back-to-back weeks, so you have to give them a
Yeah.
little deal on that. Murray was not an easy event, and this is a no-scope. Marion and Moultrie both in play, post-spawn, no live scope. Little bumpy today on the pond, so a lot of them are 10 out of the last 11 days straight on the water, getting to the point of the season with classic contentions, angler of the years, requalifications, lot on the gentleman's minds. So
yeah, no, I can't.
I them jumping on.
I was surprised when they were all like, "Okay, yeah, we'll get on." I was like, "This is gonna be disorganized, but it's exactly what we need." So
yeah, well, that's why I had Scott on the first half of the show. Scott is the consummate professional, so I knew we would have a very well manicured BTL before it just completely fell apart.
I wonder who people think Scott's fishing with in this field.
Oh no, it'll be interesting.
There's no way people guess it. But
no way people guess it.
Maybe they do.
I'm interested I will be interested to see what happens to the Nut Brothers, because that dynamic duo together could be.
See, here's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure they can read each other's minds. And
could be dangerous.
And with most people, if you're scoping, it's a one-person deal. I feel like with them, it's like basically they have 4 arms.
I mean, I may be impaired with another non-elite series or BPT angler, and then it's just, hey, let's watch these guys just get absolutely smoked for 7 hours by guys who know what's going on. Well, we fish bridge pilings in an attempt to catch keeper spotted bass.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll change the field up. You fish with Randy, block it when he calls me back.
I've already fished with Randy. It went good. We would actually have a good day on the water.
Yeah, I'd probably crush him. Yeah. I'd like to know also for people in the comments who they want to win. Like, if you could pick one person that's on a winning team.
You know who I'm excited to meet is Lucas Black. I follow him on Instagram. I know he is like diehard into this thing, tournament fishing, family, little business side hustle with the belly bombs thing. Really enjoy his posts. I've never met him in person.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, and the fact that he was in Hollywood, now he's in the bass fishing world. I mean, it's like polar opposites. So, but he's dialed in with it. He's like focused on being as good as he can be at it and going as high up as he can. So he's pretty dang good from what I understand.
All right, Tom, I know it's also almost, you have a small child that is yours. That belongs to you.
She's right. And
I know Court. I am an uncle now, and Court keeps telling me you can't refer to it as an it. It's a her.
I was at Lizard's Thicket the other day. If you guys have ever been there, it's like a really good chicken meat and 3 place. And there was the guy checking us out. At the end, he was like, we're boxing our food up, and he's like, "You need a bag for that?" And I was like, "Sure, that'd be great." And he looked at my baby and he goes, "Do you need a bag for that?" And I'm like, "Did you just call my baby a that?" And just ask if I needed a bag. And my, dad response was like, "That's not cool." But of course, it was a joke. So
I made the mistake of the very first picture I saw. They were on FaceTime of my niece. And I said, "It looks like an alien." And Court moved the phone and gave me this side eye, "Hey, don't say those things out loud."
My dad calls it the frog stage. He's like, whenever the babies get out of the frog stage, it gets a lot easier. I thought that was an interesting. I didn't know what he was talking about until I was like, you know what? Actually, that checks out.
All right, we're getting all sorts of guesses on here, so we might be on to something. All right, let me pop this off. Let me throw a little background music on. Let me see if I can remember. Big shout out. Thanks to Scott. He's flying out or leaving early in the morning, so I appreciate him doing this. I appreciate you, Tom, for putting this together. Tristan McCormick, Robert G., Logan Parks, Kyle Patrick. No thanks to John Garrett tonight.
Yeah. Sucker.
Sitting on the couch in the background, just interrupt.
Always can count on you, John. Thanks a bunch.
Should have invited him. Should have been in. You don't want any part of John Garrett on a TVA. I can tell you that.
No, he wouldn't do it either.
He's strong on the TVAs.
Yeah.
All right. For more information, if people want to find out about this, Wired to Fish did a good press release on it. The link for that press release is in the description of this show, along with the link to the Fishing Chaos page, where you can join it for free to be the future insider access. Also, an Instagram page has been created for this that'll have more information on it. And I'm sure once the pairings have been announced, those will be announced on BTL. So I'm super excited, honored to be a part of this, and very excited to get in the boat with my selected partner for this new era in competitive fishing.
It's not too late, Randy. You better bring it, Matt.
Tom Brubaker from Fishing Chaos. We'll talk to you later. See ya.
See ya.
All right, that's all we got for tonight. Hopefully, I enjoyed that show. It was a little bit of a non-traditional BTL. You got to have those every once in a while. Tomorrow, Cody Steckel, winner of the One Bass Arizona Open on Lake Havasu, will be joining us Friday. Frank, and then I'm headed to Kentucky Lake. We'll talk to everyone later. See ya.